Hi, welcome to the Brief Book Reviews channel, otherwise known as An Old Guy Reviews the Book That He's Read This Week. So what's the old guy read this week? Well, the book I read this week is this one. It's called The Atlas Manoeuvre by author Steve Berry. It was published as a hardcover in the UK on the 20th of February 2024, published by Grand Central Publishing, and it's another adventure, as it tells us on the front, Cotton Malone. It's the 18th adventure for Cotton Malone. Fans of Steve Berry will know that his genre, if you will, is modern day thriller linked with historical events and myths and legends. This is no different. So we kick off with a prologue. It's the Philippines, 1945. It's the end of the Second World War, and the Japanese are busily hiding all the loot they've accumulated from Asia during the Second World War, lots of gold. They found 175 different sites in the Philippines. They're dynamited and the gold is buried. The guy in charge is called General Tomoyuki Yamashita, and that hoard, if you will, is known as Yamashita's gold. We're told in the book that after the Second World War, the CIA get to hear about this and managed to find some of the sites and some of the gold. They shipped that to Europe, and this is the basis of a trust called the Black Eagle Trust, which the CIA, we're told, used to fund activities that are somewhat off the books. So they deal with a bank called the Bank of St. George, which are headquartered in Luxembourg, but the gold allegedly is hidden in a secret vault in Switzerland. We move to the modern day where Cotton is in Basel in Switzerland, and he's doing a favour for an old CIA contact called Koga to keep an eye on a lady who's in Basel. Her name's Kelly Austin. She works for the Bank of St. George, and she's a bit of a technical whiz. That little operation where Cotton simply has to keep an eye on Kelly soon goes south, where people are trying to shoot at her and there's high-speed car chases. What makes things worse is that Cotton at first doesn't recognise Kelly, and she knows his full name, which clearly isn't Cotton, and says to him, "You don't remember me, do you?" And then all of a sudden the penny drops, and he realises this Kelly Austin is actually somebody he knew in his misspent youth as Susie Baldwin. So it's someone he knows from his reckless youth. And, clearly that sets him back a bit. So meanwhile, Cotton's real girlfriend, Cassiopeia, is trying to find out what's happened to the map that listed all the Yamashita's gold sites, and she's trying to trace the CIA contact who's now retired and the person who dealt with the Black Eagle Trust. So we've got these things going on. It turns out that Kelly is a technical whiz, and it turns out the Bank of St. George are up to somewhat nefarious activities. Not only are they now at war with the CIA because they know where the gold is, but they're also accumulating Bitcoin. They've taken on a contract killer who's busy bumping off Russian oligarchs and stealing their Bitcoin. And they've got a cunning plan. The cunning plan is that they accumulate lots of Bitcoin, and therefore they can manipulate the market. Our tale takes us from Luxembourg to Switzerland, and we end up in the mountains of Morocco and Marrakesh, and hence the Atlas Manoeuvre. And there's a big event taking place with people that are being pitched by the Bank of St. George to adopt Bitcoin as their reserve currency, people from all over Central and South America. So a very enthralling tale. It works on several levels, I guess. There's the standard thriller where Cotton and Cassiopeia are trying to stop the bad guys from pulling off their dastardly deeds. We've got the historical interest. We've got the Bitcoin interest. There's lots of pieces about Bitcoin in the book, which, it shows both sides of the argument. Yeah, it's private, but is that a good thing or a bad thing? Lots of stuff about Bitcoin. So this will appeal to crypto enthusiasts. It will appeal to people who like a little bit of an odd conspiracy theory as well as a modern day thriller. So I enjoyed it. It's 399 pages. What I also like is that Steve Berry also puts at the end of most of his books the author's notes. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here which sorts the wheat from the chaff and tells you what's actually historically correct and what's not. The bit I like about this book is that he finishes off, and I'll quote him verbatim. He says, once I can get to it, he says, "Of course, all of this is fiction, not real, made up. Could it ever happen? Question mark." He says, "That's hard to say. Perhaps we should take heed of Proverbs 28:20. A faithful man will abound with blessings, but he who makes haste to be rich will not go unpunished." And there we have it. So, I enjoyed it. 7 out of 10. A good old rattling thriller. You know, what's not to like? Hidden gold, manipulation of Bitcoin. So, you know, we've got history and the latest up-to-date happenings with the crypto world. So I enjoyed it. Really good read. As I said, I'd give it 7 out of 10. So apart from the fact that clearly they can't spell manoeuvre, but yeah, that's a Brit joke. 10/10 to do it again. Thanks for watching.